So yeah, that's a thing. All right. Let's listen to it real fast. I'm going to say no. I'll just ask YouTube later. All right, guys. Added an extended placement UI. I have no idea what that means. Oh no, I can hear myself. Where was I hearing myself? Oh. Now I have to fix it again. Surprised I haven't seen a YouTube chatter yet. All right. RMC on a 3D item on the ground to move it precisely. Right mouse click. Wait, really? Oh, this is sick. You can tilt things. Yo. This is the coolest thing I didn't even know you'd be able to do. You can make it high up too, just in case you want to. Oh wait, no. They cooked. Hello, YouTube chatter. What's up, Chris? Is this a debug thing? It just says it at the top of the patch notes, like right mouse click on a 3D item on the ground and move it precisely. It doesn't seem like it should be a debug thing. Added raccoons, though currently there are issues with their fence climbing. Please tell me they turned into like the horrible man dog. Added 5 new flyers. Build window, handcraft window works on the controller. Controller support for crafting stations. Lots of controller support. Chicken coop. This is now a tabbed window separating the egg-laying nests from the roosts. More controller support. Controller support. Animal info windows allow renaming. Butcher hook UI. Livestock trailer UI. More controller support. Don't save and restore inventory window and loot window layout when using a controller. These are always positioned automatically at the bottom of the screen. I don't like that it puts this weirdness whenever I highlight, but it is what it is. A raccoon just dropped. We can tame a raccoon and call him Spiffa now. I hope the raccoons are just absolutely vicious. Hi, Rick Rivers. I'm glad you've been enjoying that. Fix inventory window and loot column layout after resizing the screen when using control. Okay, is all of this controller support? Added research progression for metal armor, both scrap welded and proper blacksmith. I was checking this out the other day. So with metalworking, well, blacksmithing really, you can go from like the humblest knife blade to like full swords through researching. Because like you just keep researching the next tier, build it, and then research the next tier. And I was wondering if they were going to add that for armor, and I guess they did. So there we go. Raccoons giving you rabies might be something for first aid. You mean die? What are you? You're gonna have to find some penicillin. Is it? Wait, is penicillin what you need for rabies? No, it's like a series of shots. I feel like you die. Yeah. Rain barrels fill with water when the player isn't nearby, so your animals won't die of dehydration if you're on a trip away. That's awesome. I don't think that helps. I was just thinking, I can't remember what illness we discovered penicillin about. Let's see here. Debug itemless viewer when I have columns displaying whether items can be crafted, forged, or found as loot. Oh, the debug menu is an actual bug now. I hear a zombie. Let's go God mode so they leave me alone. Oh, there we go. Craft, forge, and loot. Oh, that's weird. You can't find the maintenance books from forging. That must be an accident. Rabies is uncurable, preventable. I thought you can, if you get bit by something with rabies, you can get shots to stop you from dying if you do it fast enough. Rabies needs prophylaxis, among other stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. I was like, wait, I don't I don't remember it being actually uncurable, just uncurable if it gets to your brain. Okay, let's see here. Added new sounds for resting on chairs. Old fashioned generator and wood log. Yay. Added missing recipe. Forged spade head. This item had no recipe to create it. Added specific sprint to aim animations for weapon types. Oh, that's cool. All right. I like it. I like it. It's probably gonna break my does that break my ability to swing from sprint? Crafted baseball bat. Let's go. Ooh, yeah, I think it's gonna break your ability to swing from a sprint. We can craft baseball bats, level 9 carving. Which means long blunt, it's officially best skill in game. This is the best update ever. Yeah, I know. As a long blunt fan, boom. Added and repointed transition animations. Use the correct animation for sprint stops. Added 2 new biomes depending on if close to lake or river. Hello. Don't mind me while I teleport. So, the last time they talked about biomes was procedurally generating stuff. I forgot there's a camp right here. You. Forest and farmland. That's new. Well, that one isn't really a biome. Maybe if I go up here, it'll do a biome. Forest and birch forest. Plain forest. I'm out in the water and it just says forest. I'm not sure if this is working. Let's try this giant lake down here. Farmland forest. Birch forest. Yeah, they mentioned the birch forest. Nothing to find here. I wonder if this means the procedurally generated biomes are in for forging. Oh, that's clay. They fixed the clay tile so it blends in. Don't defeat the wall just yet. We're not ready for a hard mode world. Oh my god, you guys are playing Terraria up in here. Level 9 carving for the simplest object in the game. Yeah. I mean, it's technically better than a crowbar, so. Added tracking on carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins to the body menu. Or the body window in the general debugger's option. Oh my god, I don't need a mod to look at it anymore. Where are they? I've needed a mod to look at my proteins for so long. This also means I can edit them. Oh, that's so good. All right. That's a thing for me, not really for you guys. Added scalable sidebar icons. That's why they're so huge. Vehicle sound alarm script property to allow different sound for car alarms in the horn. Is protein the only macro that matters, or does fats and carbs affect anything? Fats and carbs are the double weight gain. Yeah, and then it's your actual calories as if you're gaining weight or not. But the problem with fats and carbs is that both of them can be a negative number, right? So like my carbohydrates go down to negative 500. And I think it's like 250 to get the double up. I guess I can check this super fast now. Get this panel open. Give myself enough to be gaining weight. I don't think I can gain weight because I'm in God mode. Okay, I'm gaining weight. And now if I give myself enough carbs, which looks like it's 400, you'll see I have the double up. But the problem that I've always run into is that you can't mix. Yeah, you can't mix fats and carbs. So you kind of just focus on one, and the easiest one for me is fats. Why is my avatar a cat now, but not the anime pixel girl? Oh, the boss from Alona Plus? I mean, my YouTube one is still the boss. I just have the throbber in the corner for Twitch. It's funny though because my YouTube is the only one using the old one now. I think I've changed everything else. Maybe not my Steam. Butterstick Fats is a gift from heavens. Oh yeah. The what now? The throbber in the corner. You see the painting of my cat? It throbs whenever I talk. Oh, jeez. Speaking of Alona Plus, have I tried Elin? I have not got around to trying Elin yet. I need to beat... so my current list of things that I want to play right now, I got to finish Monster Hunter Wilds, obviously. Then I need to beat the Factorio update. And then I'm probably going to buy Elin and play that. The thing is like, that game is just insanely dense, right? So I feel like I'm going to bounce off of it and have to get back to it in like a year. Animals can drink from the rivers now too. Are you serious? That's amazing. Added small, medium, large monospace font. Oh wait, changes to the Lua debugger. Hold up. Where am I? Here we go. Vehicle, added new chicken Foley sounds. Ah, there's the rain container. Rain collectors would be filled when a player is away. So you don't need that mod anymore. In fact, if you haven't updated yet, you might want to turn that mod off and then update. By the way, guys, whenever you see the game is Alona, which game? It's called Alona Plus. I'll type it in chat for you. It's a free game. It's extremely old. Don't be surprised by that fact because I'm old. I'm not that old, but I'm old. Hold up. I discovered that if you dismantle a fire axe, you can then always sharpen the head to full condition and make a pristine fire axe each time. Is that a glitch? I think dismantling the item is what's turning them to pristine. Because it's like a crafting recipe, and it's not actually checking that. Is Alona good? Am I older than you? You are older than me. By like a little bit. Alona Plus... Wait. So the original Alona is pretty good, but Alona Plus, in my opinion, is like peak turn-based game. You know, like the old dungeon grinding stuff. Old people rise up, but not too fast. I love it. I have not played Elin yet. It's on my list of games to play. Have you heard of Caves of Cud? Yeah, that's a pretty good game too. Let's see here. Added combo box. Is this all debugger stuff? Okay, this is all stuff for me. Kind of. I mean, obviously it's for the devs themselves and modders. Source window background color has changed from white to gray, so we're not getting flashbanged. I love it. Added read check marks. Animals now recognize rivers. Oh, that was mixed in the Lua debugger. Oh, no, it's its own title. It's just not quite set right. The zone includes some water tiles. It'll be shown in the zone UI. Animals will try to drink from the river they can access before anything else. Change some behavior to eat grass. Animals will now look around him instead of purely under his feet. Made other changes to try and make their behavior more consistent and smart. Updated a couple rifle aim animations. I wonder if that's the one where you turn into like a Goomba. Can I paste the link to this page here? Yeah. Did they change the animal path? It seems like they changed a little bit about them. They might be changed. I pasted that in the wrong order, and now my everything has been ruined. Added play music when pause the audio option. I actually need this a lot when I'm playing the actual game music. According to Tweenie, they can load their latest save with one error in the console. But they can play it. So maybe your save isn't ruined for everyone who had long-term saves. Okay, balance. The shop looted story will no longer occur in single-room buildings. Some utility buildings use electronic store or similar room definitions for their single room, which means that the police and bandit zombies could spawn inside them as a looted shop story. No, I like that. That was fun. Added missing craft recipe allowance for making nailed broken planks. Rebalance the table leg weapons. What was wrong with the table leg? Was it OP? Oh, wait. There's so many of them. Oh, we'll have to figure that out. Goomba is such a funny word. If you know what a Goomba is, you know exactly what I meant by that. Yeah, see, I like having the sound in the background for YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. You guys don't get music. If you want music, you have to go over to my Twitch. Let's see here. Chopping logs in large branches in the firewood will produce splinters. So chopping firewood always produces a tinder item. I really like this like hard hunt they're doing. Like just focusing in on making sure you can always make a fire. Mario Goomba? Yep. With nails is usually best one. Yeah, they were OP. I figured they were OP. They probably don't weigh that much. Who's out here using a table leg in the apocalypse? I mean, if there was an easy way to get them and they were like lightweight, I would have used them. Wait. Hold up. Nails can be used to research the forge heading tool craft recipe. Yeah, no, that's pretty amazing. Metalworking is like self-referential now, and you can just learn all the recipes. It's pretty cool. Added the following items: improvised screwdriver, firewood bundle, firewood with nails. Added recipe to make an chop firewood from logs in large branches. Bundle firewood, unbundle. Firewood burns for longer. So you get like a firewood with nails weapon. That's interesting. So firewood burns longer than other wooden items by weight. By chopping logs and large branches of firewood, you increase the length of time that they can be used as fuel for campfires. Now here's the most important question. Is the toilet paper still the best per weight fire item? Because that was a hilarious video. Firewood and firewood bundles, added some loot and story clutter tables, added wooden clay tool item and a recipe to carve one. Hey, we can finally make a jar of produce. Can also use seasoning salt. Nerfed wooden spade stats. It's supposed to be an improvised primitive tool. Stats were too close to the standard spade for how easy it can be crafted. Literally, they nerfed it, and it was still the best two-hand blunt. So they've nerfed it again. And I actually wonder, can I spawn it in and see its damage? It still weighs 1.5. If this thing has any amount of durability, it's still going to be an excellent weapon. Damage 0.4 to 0.8. Okay, so it's worse than a short blunt. Is there some zombies around? I have to teleport somewhere. Here we go. Does this thing break like instantly? I don't think it has super high crit anymore. Are the graphics slightly different? Nah, this is still OP. Durability is 40, down from 50. Yeah, it's still OP. Zombies are moving weird. I don't like it. They need it. Okay, if there's a dev in here, all you have to do is make it weigh 2. That's all you have to do. Just make it weigh 2. From my experience, would I say build 42 stable will come out this year? Probably. Spears still take massive deforestation to produce. They make you able to carve it from planks. Add that to the video. I will mention that they nerfed the wooden spade as an important thing, and then say that they need to make it way more. Like I'll make sure to do that because it's stupid. It's the same thing though. Like the short bat that you can craft from planks is just too good. You should have to craft it and then like add nails to it to make it actually good. Or just straight up reduce its durability. Because I think it has like 150 swings on it by default, right? Which is just crazy. The wooden spade was your goated weapon. It's still goated. It's just not instantly top tier. You actually have to get like a couple levels in your long blunt for it to be goated now. Updated Smash Watermelon recipe to use its own timed action so sound and animation issues can be solved. Recipes that use a crucible so that they need to be empty. Interesting. Updated melt sand and melt glass recipes to need a lighter or other way to start the fire. The make screwdriver craft recipe can be learned from melee weapon schematics in the Escaping Captivity recipe magazine. Added a wooden clay tool item. They already mentioned that. Limited some actions such as drinking and cleaning bandages to fluid sources that contain only water or tainted water. Wait, can we clean a bandage with tainted water? Oh, zombies. Have we ever been able to do that before? Is spade that good? I mean, now that you can craft a wooden bat, I would say the spade isn't actually that good. What is a top tier weapon? Ooh, now that you can craft infinite bats, it might be the nailed bat, but the sheet metal bat is also like, I think it's 55% crit chance or something. Like absurdly high. You remember being able to clean bandages in rivers like that, just like cleaning clothing? Maybe I'm going crazy. All right. Walking calories still not fixed. Rip. I just use hammers. The the ball peen hammer, did it get nerfed, Tweenie? I know you already checked. So like the crude axe. Oh yeah, the crude axe is it's on a tier of its own. It starts one-shotting zombies. It's probably one of the earliest weapons to start one-shotting zombies. Other than if you start crafting your own swords. Where was I? Updated drinking from sinks and barrels to use the drink fluid to ensure correct health effects with all fluid types. Character will no longer auto drink from a bottle that is being filled. The action has to be completed first. No, they're gonna make us. You have to fill it up. Your character drinks from it, then you fill it up again to top it off. Added a craft recipe to carve wooden goblets. I like that. Reorganized carving recipes by skill level requirements. Cool. Added recipe research allowances for forging spade heads to relevant items. I already drank from the sink first instinctively because of the old glitch. I think you should still do that. I haven't checked it yet, but drinking from the sink used less water than filling your bottle up last patch. So, yeah, might be a thing. Not sure if this has been asked, but do I have to start a new game? Uh, I've gotten one feedback that you can load your old save so far. They updated it this patch. Sink drinking should be the same. Well, we're still going to do it so that we don't have to fill our drink up twice, right? Wait, crafted baseball bat? Yup, crafted baseball bat. I actually only need to spawn in with Whittler, and I don't care about anything else in the game now. It's funny. I'm just going to start making bats. Let's see here. Recipe research for the spade. Craft recipe for sewing a leather tool roll. Oh, I like that. I like the look of these tool rolls, even if they're not really that efficient to use. Added a crafted baseball bat item in the recipe to make it. Requires carving 9 and has to be learned, but also you can research it from wooden baseball bats, large branches, and short bats. Well, there we go. So even though you have to learn the recipe, large branches spawn everywhere. And you could always just make a short bat to learn it, even if you're going full primitive. I drink from sinks all the time since I love micro and everything too much and turned off auto drink. Not gonna lie, in build 41, I really enjoyed turning off auto drink and having a keybind to drink. And it was because what game did I play? It should be on my desktop actually. Hold up. Outward. I was playing Outward again, and I remember that you had to drink manually in that game for the bonus. It's funny that the wooden weapons are more accessible than the metal or forged weapons. Makes sense. I mean, being more accessible, yes. Being outright better, that's kind of a problem. Uh, I feel like it should take a long time to make like a metal warhammer, but it should be the best one, and it should last a long time, right? Did they say anything about absurd calorie loss? I haven't got to any calorie stuff yet. Carving is so easy to level. Whittler seems kind of extra. Uh, Whittler teaches you some recipe I liked. That was the reason why I would take it. Researching doesn't give XP anymore, according to the patch notes. RIP. We'll find out soon enough. Increased campfire capacity to allow use of buckets for water purification and cooking. Looted trash buildings should have more broken and open doors, more broken windows to better signpost the status as looted and trashed. Ground floor locked windows and looted trash buildings will be unlocked. Corpses will now sometimes spawn outside of trash and looted buildings. This is RNG dependent. And also, buildings don't really have much of an outside footprint. It's basically a row of squares surrounding the building in most cases. So there's not a lot of real estate to work with. Yep. That bit sucks. It's mentioned somewhere in this patch that they intend the maces to be meta weapons. They're a long way from even being really usable. Yeah, it's a problem. How do you grind carving? So if you don't have a saw, you basically just forge and then grind things in a small or carve into small handles and then carve the small handles into something else. Try to use the things that's the highest level because you'll get more XP. If you do have a saw, you just chop down trees, carve the planks or saw planks, then carve the planks into handles. Any ground floor locked doors will be destroyed. Basements of trash and looted buildings will be less trash and looted, proportional to how deep below ground level the individual basement floors may be. Oh, hey, that means the military base basement won't be looted because it's like 10 floors down, right? Spoons, forks, pipes. Yeah, that's the carving idea. So highest carving you could potentially start with 4. You don't need to start with. You would only want +1 into carving if you even care. Because carving is so easy to level up. It's like a time commitment that you can just fast forward through. That getting to level 9 is not that big of a deal. You need a magazine now to make the spoons and forks. I think you just start with. We'll have to find out, but you can probably just start with Whittler, and you'll already know that kind of stuff. The looted military bunker was a massive disappointment. Yeah, if they actually have it said the basement isn't looted, that'd be really nice. Halve the max size of the buildings was reduced to half. That can be trash and looted. I don't know. Does that mean like the mall can't be trash and looted? I would assume, basically. Rework the corpse spawning in trash buildings using new corpse spawning code. Additionally, sometimes trash buildings will have one or more zombies or corpses of bandits, survivalists, militia in them. This is rare, but as those outfits can have good loot, it will serve as finding some of the missing loot. So basically, they took people's feedback in on this. Reworked how a bunch of trash building code works. Checks to prevent story content occurring in kids' rooms was preventing stuff from occurring in areas without rooms, in addition to some other checks being too aggressive and preventing content occurring in some squares. Additionally, more attention is paid to doors and windows. Added recipe research progression for several tool category items. Masonry trowels, masonry chisels, more fleshing tool, more sickles, tweezers, forceps, files, whetstones, nails, and heading tools from nail spiked weapons, buckets, crowbars, trowels, etc. etc. Yeah, so basically research is going to be the way you go from like a primitive person with no books to actually knowing recipes. That's how they're setting it up. Illiterate is upon us. Yup. The idea is the loot will be on the zombies, but there's not enough of the survivor zombies. There's plenty of survivor zombies. They spawn in the I believe it's the spots where car events can happen actually. I was driving around and I did a save. There was a car event on this one section of the road, and then the next save, there was a backpack spawn. In towns, stop staying in towns. Like everything about build 42 is trying to make you explore the map. So if your only goal is to go from like house to house in a town, you're just doing it wrong. Am I available in the PZ Discord server? I am in that server specifically so that people can DM me. I haven't interacted with the research stuff. Does it make illiterate good now? I wouldn't say it makes illiterate good. It's just that illiterate can actually learn recipes. That's why I like the Echo Creek spawn. Basically a free car and gas station to just start traveling. Yup. I don't want to adapt old ways, better ways. I mean, even in build 41, which nickname? It's my name. Yeah, in build 41, you would get a car and immediately start driving so you can get a large backpack from a backpack spawn. The same way you do it in build 42. Except in build 42, large backpacks are rare, whereas in build 41, it happened every backpack spawn. But in build 42, you can get a military backpack instead, so that's the thing. Auto drink disabled now. I don't even know. Is auto drink an accessibility? Automatically drink when thirsty. It's turned on for me. Another patch released already? Yeah, it's been about 2.5 weeks, right? Anything really interesting added or fixed? We can craft baseball bats now. They rebalance the trashed and looted buildings. Rain collectors will fill with water even if you're not there. That's actually probably the hugest thing. And animals will attempt to drink from river if it's within their zone. Carved bat recipe can be added, or was added to the pool of recipes that can be on a melee weapon schematic. Added the improvised screwdriver items to attach weapon definitions. Bandit survivalists and later game zombies may have them attached or impaled within them. Iron and steel bars, bar halves, rod halves will break into halves when they break like many other melee weapons. Interesting, because then you won't have to cut it. Unless it's two broken halves, which might not work. Went through the trouble of metalworking to get better spears, only to find out they're absurdly heavy for the damage they do. Yup. The best spear is the fire hardened spear, and the second best spear is I read that wrong. The second best spear is the fire hardened spear, and the best spear is the garden fork. What do they mean by later game zombies? After time has passed, you start getting different zombies. They'll have like different weapons impaled in them. Another primitive weapon, which is better than any forged one. No, the garden fork is the best spear. I just said it backwards. My 42 save has 315,000 chunks to update. We'll report back in 3 hours. Rip. I wouldn't even bother. Time to be a swamp goblin waiting for prey, pretty much. Do generators count basements now? I have not run into that yet. It's possible that people may exploit this as materials processing exploit. You should still be able to saw forge broken rods bars into halves as is. And it is arguable that nothing. They accidentally cut it off, apparently. And that's exactly what I immediately thought of, by the way. You just use it to break it in half so you don't need a saw, right? Added research progression for pots and pans although their craft recipes are commented out. Interesting. Rebalance the skill level requirements for the welded weapons as they were too bottom heavy. That's correct. I got away with the welded weapons pretty fast. Change make small scrap weapon to make saw blade hatchet. There's a multi recipe that could also make a scrap cleaver, but also there was already a scrap cleaver recipe. I had no idea about that. Have the time required to research, or for the recipe research action. That's actually kind of nice. Are we saying to just go for fire hardened rather than attach head ones? If you can make a garden fork, make a garden fork. If not, make the fire hardened. Do we have to start a new world for this patch to take effect for things? So I just recommend you always start a new world, like a new save with every update in the unstable. But you don't have to. You just have to go to a new chunk if you do. So like any place you haven't visited should technically be updated. Maybe. Like you just don't know. That's why I always just make a new save. Why are we going for spears anyway? We aren't. We're just talking about them. Although the garden fork is... It's two-handed and it only weighs 1.5, which means it's technically one of the best long-term weapons of just like killing zombies. If you can make it. I remember like there's a recipe for it, but I'm not sure if you can actually craft it, if you know what I mean. Where was I? Having a magnifying glass or loop in either hand will further slightly reduce item research time. That's hilarious. Increased burn time of firewood bundle to match unbundled firewood. Added an add corpse function. Wait, drops corpses in multiple places, so having a utility function to use instead will simplify matters. All right, that's something debug related. A player's relevant highest skill level can reduce how long craft recipes take to perform. For every level, the highest skill level is higher than the highest recipe skill requirement. The time required to perform it is reduced by 5%. That's interesting because we're going to be grinding, carving, and it'll make it faster. I think you can't craft the handles for the forks. Not sure about forging the fork head. Well, yeah, there you go. What is a loop? It's a magnifying glass on like a chain. Will we be getting tech tree with this research stuff? I would love to get a visual tech tree. Because like actually clicking through all the recipes to figure it out takes forever. Reorganize the welded weapons recipe file by skill level. I'm glad someone's going through doing that. Fixed times prepared, not transferring from the weapon to the blade when dismantling blades. Oh no! They're figuring it out. The times prepared inheritance for weapon parts is probably going to have more gremlins to flush out. Oh yeah. There's a bunch of them that you can get away with just dismantling it and then putting it back together. Rebalance of weapons that can be produced by welding. Generally strong reductions in durability and lesser reductions in damage and criticals. The intent of these weapons is to be crappier, crude versions of properly crafted weapons. Under ideal circumstances, a skilled blacksmith would produce properly crafted real weapons instead of the crude welded weapons. That sucks. Also, did they buff the blacksmith made weapons? Because the crude weapons were similar to them because the blacksmith weapons kind of suck. So if they've just nerfed the welded ones and not buffed the blacksmith ones, it's not really getting anywhere. I'm just going to make a baseball bat. Unga bunga. Nobody ever used that for infinite machetes or anything. Yeah, definitely not. But reductions for both, they were not good in the first place. Yeah, I know. That's what I was sitting here thinking. Oh my god, it's nighttime. Is the game going to screw up if I fast forward? Did not? Okay. Good news. Scrap sword. Wait, what was it called? Scrap metal sword. Is this a two-hand? It's not the two-hand. Weighs 2.5. Yeah, that's about right. Min damage 1.5. Max damage 2.5. Doesn't seem like it got nerfed that much if it did. I'll have to wait till someone looks at the actual stats. 2.5 weight one hand. Oh, yeah, it's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Does short blade have any good options in build 42? I think it has like the hunting knife, of course. The railroad spike knife, whatever it's called, and one other one. Oh, and the screwdriver is still really strong for ground pounding. Do the devs not know how much heavy weapons suck? I don't know. I mean, I assume they do know, because, like, how would they not, right? And I understand that, like, the idea is that eventually you overcome your muscle strain and it's just a stamina thing. Yeah, the screwdriver has, like, a ×10 crit multi, which means ground pounding heads does, like, absurd damage. So what's the point of going welding? Why would anyone go welder? Literally aimed at being a worse metal worker. You can still make the welded armor unless they nerf that as well. And you can still make okay. Like that sword wasn't bad damage wise. In fact, it's above average damage wise. It just weighs a lot. So if you can make the 2.5 weight two-handed sword still, it's probably fine. Rebalance some weapons produced by napping in regards to durability and damage output. They didn't say which ones, but hopefully the knife got a little bit better. And the crude stone axe got worse. I don't know. Fix several recipes having duplicate condition fields. Reorganize the napping recipe file by skill level requirements. I assume everything is going to have that patch note. Rebound several casual type weapons in regards to damage and criticals. As long as they weigh how much they do, they're not worth. Rebalance the skill level requirements of several improvised weapon recipes involving carpentry or maintenance. Does it make the weapon recipes less bottom heavy? Skill level requirements wise, with more drawn out progression and providing more room for blacksmithing to be a superior option, assuming you have materials and workstations. The problem with the weight values in the game is I suspect the devs mostly play in debug mode. I think it's not even that. I think they see people like Lamprey and Rural Storage just obliterating zombies for like 5 minutes straight, and they're like, "Yeah, we gotta make the stamina a little worse." So they just make weapons heavy. But there is the metalworking, like the blacksmith. I think they can make a 2-weight sword, so it's like two hands. So it's literally, I think it's like the best weight it can be, right? So it's not like it's impossible to make that. Can I explain what bottom heavy means in the patch notes? So there's 10 crafting levels, and I actually wrote a script. Yeah, I released the video, reverse engineering. And I mentioned that anything below, like anything above level 6 isn't really worth it because there's like no recipes there, right? So what they're doing is they're spreading them out. Now the problem with spreading them out like this is that the higher levels take forever to get. That might end up being a problem, but I don't think it will really be a problem because finding the books, while annoying now, is not that big of a deal. It's just takes time, right? The new UI jump scared you? Oh yeah. The crude stone axe breaks so easily as is. The problem is that you can kill like 30 zombies with it. Several carving recipes, including forks, buckets, goblets, and spades, require being learned. That's why I was saying you should probably take Whittler, because I think it teaches you that stuff. We'll have to find out, though. I'll have to spawn a character with it. Please don't nerf my caveman style. I mean, just pick up a stone and hit zombies, right? What's the new UI? It's just slightly different. I don't know. Might be a bad opinion, but you're not really on board of nerfing the weapons and creating a meta for PC. Doesn't just seem like the type of game to have a meta unless it's the small part of PvP part of the community. The game has always had a meta. They just want in I have another script that I haven't released that I talk about, but like blacksmithing sucks. There's almost no reason to do it right now. So if they're gonna focus on making an actual blacksmith actually good, I'm okay with that. The problem is that I think the way they're doing it is backwards. No, it doesn't. Ball peen hammer. That it's stupid. That weapon is like exploit, basically. I don't know why it's in the game. How is it still in the game? I won't mention it. I won't mention it. I'm not gonna say anything about it. Yeah, games are just always gonna have a meta. So here's the thing about metas. They're always gonna exist. There's always gonna be a best thing to do. The only thing a dev has to do about their meta is make sure that the best way to do something is still fun. As long as it's fun, it doesn't matter that it exists. It's when it's not fun and people feel drawn towards it that it's a problem. So like the way you level up carving right now, not fun. But I don't even know why carving's a crafting skill, to be honest. Like it should probably just be carpentry. Oh no, did people find out one of the ball peens has less weight? Oh, we knew the minute it came out. It weighs less and it has 50% extra attack speed. It is literally the best weapon. Might as well merge them and call it woodworking. Absolutely. I'd be perfectly fine with that. It's just like I like the idea of carving. I just don't understand what it's supposed to be because like the way you level it up is atrocious as a actual game mechanic. Yeah, I made 300 smoke pipes. Cool. Like I don't know. Seems a little weird. Some minor rebalancing of Mace and Morningstar type weapons. I hope that wasn't minor. Consolidated some code for spawning corpses into the ISO grid square. Added coffee to the items that can spawn in kitchen countertop clutter. Hey, we're gonna get way more coffee. Added craft recipe for making an improvised knife from a machete blade. Interesting. If that resets the durability, so like if you have a machete that's about to break and then you make a knife out of it, might be interesting. Minor rebalancing, they made them heavier. I hope they did not make them heavier. In fact, let's check real fast. Mace. How about just the normal mace and the long mace? Long mace 2.0, normal mace 2.5. The one-handed mace is still heavier than the two-handed mace. Short blunt is a dead end. You hit the forged ball peen hammer and you stay there forever. Let's see here. Change text display strings for crude sword and short sword and their blades to simple swords, short swords. Blades to be consistent with how every other crude weapon and tool have had their name changed to simple. Sorry, guys, my voice is dying. Absolutely dying. It just feels heavier because you're only using one hand. Oh god. The fact that like using something two-handed splits the strain between your two arms, so it actually takes less time to recover is pretty cool though. Do I drink enough? No. I drink plenty. My problem is just that it's very easy for me to lose my voice, so if I talk a bunch at work, then I just can't do a sudden stream. Everyone's redeeming hydrate. No. No, stop. Real Zomboid players use two-handed weapons with one hand. It used to be when you got enough spear skill, you could use the spears in one hand. It'd still be viable. I made a dedicated short blunt character, and the two-hand spade was still better because of the strain. Oh yeah. the The difference between 1.5 on a one hand and 1.5 on a two hand is extreme. Removed XP from item research? Yeah, I already heard that. Where was I? Crude whetstone is now an improvised whetstone. Spiked bone clubs can be crafted. Applied placeholder values to crafted metal armor or bullet defense. This isn't very realistic as is. And is subject to change, but despite being quite low ranging from 5 to 20%, I assume. Ideally, we'll have better handling of armor types versus specific calibers of ammunition at some point. I can't even read today. But that's cool. The baseball trait teaches carve baseball bat recipe. Added new display string for Weapon Mag 17 magazine. Did I say 17? Just 7. Teaches you how to carve a baseball bat. Added checks to other looted two building stories that the looted building option is disabled. Those other similar but different stories from the trash and looted buildings shouldn't occur. They'll also use the same limit. Interesting. A research UI would be cool? Yeah, it would. What did you miss? Good news? Mostly good news, yeah. Made napping and crafting code to be more flexible and robust. Added craft recipes for sawing wooden rods from long sticks, tree branches from saplings. Why tree branches from saplings? And small handles from wooden rods. If you have a saw and a source of long sticks, saplings, brooms, mops, blah, 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 you will be able to produce wooden rods and small handles without any carving beyond carving saplings and stuff into long sticks. Which doesn't have a skill requirement. I have no idea what they're going on about there. Allow players to use liquids from different containers and craft recipes. Added the item and craft recipe for a flint saw and scraper. This functions as a crude saw for some but not all craft recipes. It can, so simple crude work but not fine work, as well as a fleshing tool. Saws and crude saws can be used to make log furniture in addition to axes that can chop down trees. Can it make a plank? If you can make a plank with a flint saw, we're in business. Flint saw. Log. Ooh. Can't right click it to make a plank. Do I have to go in the crafting menu? Plank. Carve plank. Make plank with a saw. That's not what I wanted. What if I add a normal saw? Saw log. Okay, you can't do it. Rip. Rip. All right, never mind. Happiness over. Wooden rods were already abundant. We need easier access to long sticks. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe they're just afraid of spears being OP again. Because technically the fire hardened spear is still pretty good. What is the point of the flint saw? To make furniture, apparently? I don't know. I'll have to go back through it and check at some point. Add it. Oh, you can make a twig broom. Does normal broom things. And being able to be used to make spears. Hold up. Sheets. Where's my no all recipes? See all recipes, no all recipes. Craft. That's building. Broom. Make a twig broom. It takes a sapling. Get wrecked. Let's see here. Made the recipe for making rope from dogbane. The recipe for making it from hemp, and the recipes for making twine from dogbane, and the recipe for making that from hemp and flax. Consistent in regards to their tools and durations. Added animal skeleton with no heads. Balanced butchering meat given. Added the trait mason, which provides 2 levels in the masonry skill. Oh, I saw this already, actually, when I was making my character. Characters with the mason trait know several workstation building recipes that involve bricks, stone, and concrete. I really wish they'd mention this in the actual trait, like the tooltip. So dogbane needs to be dried and heckled? I have no idea. Condolences to the wooden shovel knights. It seems like the wooden shovel knights are still pretty good, actually. As long as that thing weighs 1.5 instead of 2, it's going to just be a good weapon. Unless it does like no damage and instantly breaks. Adjusted the masonry skill bonus provided by construction worker from 3 to 2. Probably still too much for the point cost of the profession, but it should at least be consistent with the mason trait. The masonry craft recipe for making stones from large stones provides more XP. The masonry recipe for making stone blocks from stones now requires masonry 1 and provides XP equivalent to its level requirement. More stone stuff, lots of masonry stuff. Added stone masonry recipes for making stone maul and large axe heads using a club hammer and masonry chisel is of a much higher skill level requirement than the napping versions, and also don't need to be learned. This is provide some high level options for the stone masonry skill, and it doesn't seem unreasonable as well when using proper tools. Maybe the stone maul has a use, but the large axe head, it's just an axe to cut trees. Like, unless I don't know something about it. I'm the only person who thinks if we sit on the ground, we should be able to use the floor as a crafting surface. We should be able to use roads and sidewalks as a crafting surface, or like a wood floor or something like that, right? Construction worker is still good from XP bonus for short blunt. Yeah. Although carpenter, I think costs a little bit less and still gives you short blunt. Does a regular stone axe still got its infinite tree chopping durability? Even if it doesn't, all you need to do is find one metal axe and keep sharpening it, and it shouldn't ever break when you're chopping trees. No multiplayer? Didn't mention it. At least I haven't seen it yet. I don't think they're going to do multiplayer until Stable's out, honestly. Or like right before it comes out. There's this old game where max level blacksmithing can't craft a level 2 knife because blacksmithing and weaponsmithing are different skills. I fear the same for PZ. I mean, yeah, kind of. A lot of skills got split up and it's weird. Where are we here? Made the copy building key recipe not researchable. It was too easy for any player to learn it from building keys. It's supposed to be more of a criminal heist type thing. All right. Added crafted bone and wood knitting needle items. Added recipe to carve bone and wood knitting needles. Added recipe magazine. Pioneer in carvers. Teaches the knitting needles, awls, and sewing needles. Removed to this magazine from another one. Interesting. Extend rain fluid dilution mechanics to dilute all fluid types and work on barrels. Okay, guys, your barrels of gas, you're just going to have to. Hi, IG. It's early in the morning for you, right? Your barrels of gas, you're going to have to put it inside or it's going to turn into a wet barrel of gas. Just remember, you have to transfer fluid out of it. Otherwise, it would turn into water anyway. Added the trait Inventive, which provides a benefit with learning recipes from items or the auto learn mechanic by reducing the required level. It still needs an icon. I think it had an icon. Either way, that's a very interesting trait. If you mix your gasoline with water, it makes your gasoline last longer. Yeah, there's like some all sorts of weird bugs going on with that. It's Tuesday. I do early Tuesday because of Plamp. Oh, okay. I forgot about that. Also, you and your stretch and posture check and drink. I've had 3 drinks so far now. All right, let's get a good old arm stretch in so I don't have to get up. Technically, I was already sitting up straight, but we're gonna act like I sat up straighter. Did anyone else run into this problem upon loading the new unstable, the game overriding loot in their base? Yeah, I just recommend starting a new save whenever they update the unstable. All sorts of weird things happen. Yes, you're welcome. Listen, IG, listen. Construction work is 125% XP bonus. Carpenter is 75%. And it's not even a percent. It's like carpenter is times 3 or times 4, and then construction workers times 5. But like you get the majority of the bonus from the first level. Tweak the math for the level requirement calculations for the research mechanic. It will now round the calculated level to the nearest whole number instead of always rounding down. Interesting. Added the flint saw as valid input for several recipes. Added recipe to saw wooden baseball bats and nail spiked bats into short bats, which will also reset their condition if damaged. Okay, I like that. Why am I getting spammed? Oh my gosh, IG, what is this? I love it. All right, back to reading this. Three months into a save as well, but you still continued on even when all your recipe and skill books you lost. Yeah, it's just rough. I guess it's rough restarting all the time too, but I never really intend to last that long anyway. Consolidated the second spear dismantling recipe. As both recipes output a broken long stick. The spear, this recipe dismantles the blah 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 spears. They suck. Dismantle garden implement for cases where a broken garden tool handle should be produced. Add an input tag research input. If the item has recipes that the player can research, they will learn them. Added it to the electronic radio dismantling recipes. That's interesting. Added researchable progression to radio type items. Rakes can be dismantled for the rake head and broken long stick. The Siberian bear hunting recipe magazine also teaches recipes for forging spearheads. Filleting fish. provides butchering XP and not cooking XP. Balance butchering further. Added rotting stage for animals. Currently, I only have bloodied skeleton, but rotting corpse before skeleton is coming. Did anyone run into the issue of gamer overriding their base loot, removing items on the ground upon loading the new unstable? They changed the map, as far as I understand, so that's probably why that happened. Is butchering worth now? There was a patch note about it, but I haven't checked. Someone put a like very detailed bug report in saying the butchering hook was the problem, and like it would just always use a set amount of weight for the animal instead of like taking the animal's actual weight into account or something like that. So maybe they found that and then fixed it. I'll have to test it out though. Rebalance several carving recipe time requirements. They should be more consistent and sensible, as well as more generous in many cases. The wooden bucket carving recipe requirement has increased to 4 from 3. The forks, buckets, goblets, spades require being learned. Appropriate traits teach these recipes, and appropriate recipe magazines teach them. Yeah, I think we'll just take Whittler, and we'll know how to level up fast for carving, and then we'll get to our axe pretty fast, or our bat pretty fast. The thing is, it only removed items in one area I had. Backpacks by the couch, and they're gone. The backpacks by the window are still there. Who knows? That's the thing, right? When it updates like that, just the most random stuff happens. Was it currently possible to get leather from rabbits already? I don't believe you could get leather from rabbits before. And I don't think I read it either. So I don't think it's possible. Alongside generous auto-learns, there are ways to research all of these recipes. Yep. Wood spoon can be used to carve wood forks, and bone spoons can be used to carve bone forks. This just makes sense, but also allows for cunning XP goblins to double down their gains. My. What are boon spoons? Yeah, I know. Rabbit leather exists as an item, but you can't actually get it, or at least you couldn't last patch. Yeah, we'll just have to find out. Tires and tire pieces both provide less tire armor research recipes, only teaching shin and forearm armor. However, crafting those and researching them will teach additional tire armor recipes. Oh no, they watched my video. No more tire teaching like 6 recipes. Consolidated the metal mass recipes and by material into one recipe. Ammo straps, double holsters, and crafted hide holsters can be cut up for leather strips and buckles alongside belts. Fix some errors with base.base in some crafting recipe scripts. The durability of stone, bone, simple, crude metal spears was boosted. All these comprise proper spears, and as such are being slightly denerfed. Bone spears didn't exist before, so I don't know how they can be denerfed. They got put into the game as garbage. Cutting up those common ammo straps for leather. Honestly, if you go to like a lot of gun stores, there's a lot of them. They were probably nerfed from internal. Yeah, I know. It's just funny that like public facing, they were just always garbage. Disabled some Lua farming code for handling being damaged by vehicles. It was done as it was handled Java side. I forgot you could like drive over crops and hurt them. Several disassembly recipes for long and longer type implements were consolidated into one recipe. Rebalanced animal bone club type weapons. No, I already had a joke written down for those. Dang it. I rarely make jokes. Come on, devs. You gotta read my mind. No, it weighs a lot. The animal bone is no longer an OP weapon. I should have rushed the video out yesterday. I knew it. Does the Bone Club still weigh more, though? Nope, it doesn't. Rip. Finally a weight nerf? Yep. Was it a boner joke? No. It's a joke anyways. It doesn't work anymore. Is it heavier than a crowbar? No. But it gives more muscle strain than a crowbar. Content outdated. The whole video is outdated, actually, pretty much. You guys just watched 2 videos get deleted from existence right then. You don't understand. Added craft recipes for processing copper, gold, and silver scraps, sheets, and bars. That's fun. Recipes for making copper stuff. Added recipe for forging the Jawbone Morningstar weapon. Forging? It's a bone. As soon as I release my traits guide, they'll announce a complete trait rework. I mean, honestly, if I talk about them, they'll probably get some ideas about what they need to do and do that. Or at least they'll hear what I think is broken OP and then change it, right? Crowbar is 2.0, yep. Every character who survives more than a couple months will basically have to be blacksmith. Correct. If you're not a blacksmith, you must be in multiplayer, basically. Until NPCs come out and they can do the blacksmithing for you. Forging, not carving? Yeah, I have no idea. Jawbone Morningstars, wait for it. Yeah, it's a sledgehammer, basically. Want the character creator to be a bit more complex. Spongy's character creator was a little bit more complex. I actually kind of liked it. The problem is you can never really like zoom in on your character in game, so it's weird to like give yourself facial stuff, like scars, and then just never look at them. Finally, we can get rich by smelting gold. Oh, yo, we can make gold bars probably. That'll be fun. Just collect gold jewelry and make bars out of it as like your progression. All right, hold up. What up? Although this will produce any appropriate gemstones for the process items, this uses procedural on-create code to generate them, and they will not be displayed in the crafting UI. This is a case where it's not practical to include the information in UI due to the specificities of the recipes in question. With this, players should be able to generate blacksmithing XP by producing gold and silver tableware, cups, masks, and goblets by scrapping the jewelry. Added recipe for rendering metal baseball bat type weapons into aluminum scrap. Aluminum scrap can be used for the scrap sheet metal weapons. Aluminum scrap can be further rendered into fragments alongside aluminum foil, which can be used for bomb and radio recipes. Same thing for the other stuff. We have gold tableware. Apparently we do. Found a gold ingot on the road weighing like 15 in the last patch. That's amazing. Why does every character have to be a blacksmith eventually? Because if you want good weapons, eventually that's what you have to do. You can either make wooden weapons that are good or blacksmith weapons that are better. Except the blacksmith weapons aren't actually better yet, so kind of ignore that idea for now, right? Like put it in the back of your head. Adjusted the carved short bat recipe to require a higher skill level and to be learned based on feedback. This is taught by appropriate professions, traits, and magazines. Can be researched. Interesting. The problem with the bat isn't that it's easy to make. It's that it's really good and easy to make. Adjusted how yields work for scrapping vehicles. A more useful spread of crafting materials should be produced. What's the level now? I don't know. Let's see. Short bat. Level 7. Did they nerf the napping? We don't know yet. Someone's going to have to like go through and check the stuff. Oh, the lamprey feedback. Is that what he said? To like raise its level? Because like, doesn't really do anything. Yeah, like maxing your carving isn't hard. It's just a little time consuming. Anyone, like as soon as you find a saw, it's so easy. Which means the only way that raising it by 1 level would matter is if you're doing a time 16 run. There's no problem with the bat. The problem is alternatives aren't good enough. Well, in the case of the short bat, it also has extremely high durability for what it is. He killed thousands of Z's with the bat and called it OP all the time while doing it. It basically exists as the spear did in build 41, but it doesn't insta-kill zombies. It's basically a craftable nightstick. Yeah, that's because the nightstick sucks. The fact is that a short bat with nails in it is actually like one of the hardest hitting short blunts. Wood weapons being good enough makes it good enough. There's no motivation to achieve any of the blacksmithing stuff. That's the thing. If the there's a difference between being good enough and lasting a long time. So the fact that it's both good enough and it lasts a long time means there's never going to be a reason to do blacksmithing. Even if I can make a hammer that lasts forever, I would just craft another 300 short bats. Adjusted the carved wood and spade recipe to require skill level 4 and not 3 based on feedback. I thought it did require 4. Maybe I'm going crazy though. Adjusted the forge buckle recipe needs... the buckle recipe needs to be learned. It's taught by professions and blah, blah, blah. Adjusted weights of some metal scrap items for better consistency of crafting. Rebalance nutritional values of alcoholic beverages. That might be interesting. Hold up. Let me spawn a bottle of wine because I kind of remember what they had in them. Wine. Red wine. I think they got worse. Also, why am I not in God mode? I'm gonna get eaten by a zombie. If they made the weapons people want to use better, then people might actually use them. Yeah, basically. Like... it's just like the metal weapons just break too fast to actually want to use them. It's a lot of effort to make them, but not enough effort to make them worth making them like extremely good either. Removed XP for subdividing fish fillets. Hey, no more infinite cooking XP. Players were using it as an XP generating exploit. I mean, I wouldn't really call that an exploit. Is it still infinite nutrition? Oh, geez. Knife. Fillet knife. Fillet. Fish fillet. I'm going to have to add nutritionist to see. Hey, does anyone know if expert actually makes you swing your weapon faster again? Is this fillet large enough to be cut? I need a crafting table of some sort. All right. This thing has 205 calories in it. It didn't work. Something's broken about it. Missing required item, fish fillet. It's not big enough, I assume, then? Yeah, too small. Alligator gar. Put that on the ground. Slice fillet. All right, those are huge. 8,363. Still the same. It still gives you infinite nutrition. Guess they forgot to look at that while they were nerfing it. Opening canned food with a knife or sharp stone is now any surface craft and not in-hand craft. Make it less likely for players to unintentionally select this option when opening cans. I mean, if you have a can opener, it should just not show that option. Additionally, with right-clicking, you cannot both select the can and knife. You can break a knife or your hand performing this recipe. I mean, you could stab your hand. I didn't know you could break it, apparently. You should use the surface when stabbing a can open anyway. No guilt-free feature usage yet? There's a mod that fixes it. Based on community feedback, mildly nerfed the short bat class weapons. Their minimum damage value was reduced by 0.1, which means that damage before any additional calculations will be 5% less on average. What? This doesn't affect the spiked clubs and maces, both of which were made from short bats. These are in-game blacksmithing weapons. Isn't the spiked club not actually blacksmithing? Spiked club. I know, spiked club is blacksmithing. What is it? Nailed bat? Short bat with nails. Oh my god, I have to not be paused to right click and edit them. 0.7 to 0.5 damage. So that wasn't nerfed. You can just put your nails in it for free damage again. That isn't 5%. It's just 0.5 damage less on average. I think it ends up, I don't know. It should end up being more than 0.5 damage less. Either way, it's such a tiny nerf that, like, I'm not sure why they did it. Especially the minimum damage. The max damage is where, like, the one-shots come from. Right? Minimum damage. Maybe it takes one hit extra on average at, like, certain levels of skill now. And that's why they did that? Tiny nerfs like that are just like, why are you making stuff suck more for people? In this case, people really don't like this item, and I'm included on that list. Your 42.0 save loaded with no errors at all. Someone else was saying some of their items they left on the ground got despawned and loot inside containers was overwrote. So maybe you have to watch out for that. Increase in napping skill level requirements by 1 for the large stone axe head and stone maul. Looked over community feedback. They've acquired a meta weapon reputation. People are using the large stone axe as a weapon. I'm so confused. Why would you ever do that? Who's talking about this thing? The stone maul weighs 6. Where's the stone axe? It weighs 3. Okay, the large stone axe. Wait, no. Isn't this this is a chopping axe, right? So it takes up a crazy amount of stamina. Where's my endurance? Oh, wait, I have to get away from the zombies or they're all going to eat me before I do it. I have to drop a disturbing amount of weight first. Oh my god, this thing doesn't use stamina. New OP weapon. They screwed up the stamina usage. Try the maul next. I mean, the muscle strain on the maul is just going to destroy you. No, that one used an appropriate amount of stamina for its weight. I mean, it is double the weight. That was expected. Caveman supremacy. I mean, this is still worse than the fire axe, right? It's firefighter axe now, isn't it? Yeah. So this thing is going to use 0.15 stamina, base 0.16. And then if I use a fire axe, it should only use 0.1. Actually, it only use 0.005 on that first swing for some reason. Yeah. So the large stone axe, it still uses way more stamina, like 3 times more stamina than an axe that weighs the same amount. But it's not actually terrible either. That's interesting. But I would still just make a crude stone axe because, like, faster attack speed. What's the crit comparison between the two? I'd have to check stats that I can't easily see. Maybe it's just because you don't have to deal with sharpness. It probably breaks faster. Honestly, since they buff sharpness to take like twice as long, I've never had to sharpen anything. New patch while I'm transferring my game to SSD. I actually made a backup of the last patch, and then I kid you not, 30 minutes later this patch came out. Now that you can't infinite repair axe sharpness, it might be worth a look. Just make another axe. Also, the meta axe is the crude stone axe, which weighs 2.0, which saves you 50% muscle strain and I think 50% stamina usage. Sharp flint is more readily available than large smooth stones anyway. Does it do extra damage? How about the crude stone axe? Like, there might be a place for this thing, since it doesn't use as much stamina as he used to. It does do a little bit more damage, but this thing starts one-shotting zombies so early in the meta. Yeah, this is still the most stamina efficient one. And it's the most muscle strain efficient one. Stone Axe may take more stamina to swing, but it has a massive chance to crit. I think it has a really good crit multiplier too, which is nice. Yeah, I don't know about the stone maul thing though. That's a very interesting. It just weighs so much. All bomb and bomb type weapon items have a maximum condition of 1. This is to prevent them from ever spawning in a worn state. That's hilarious. Added survival schematics. So like any other schematics, but teach wilderness and post-apocalyptic type survival recipes. Leather drying racks can be built using the flint saw item. All right, I like that. Slight buff to break disc type weapons. As heavy type weapons, they were underperforming. Roadkills will now yield way less meat and of poor quality. No, not the rabbits jumping out in front of my car being worthless. Moved dig furrow in the shovel sub menu context menus. I can't. I'm done. Animals can now be added to graves. You can bury them. Can I compare the long stone knife with the hunter knife quickly? They used to be the same damage. Long stone knife. I mean, the advantage to the hunting knife has always just been its durability. So I'm not sure if this really matters. Hunting knife. 0.6 to 1.2. Stone knife. 0.7 to 1.1. Ooh. I mean, they're not equal damage anymore. The Stone Axe Large in the files now has 15% crit chance with ×5 multi, down from 50% crit. So they nerfed the ever-living hell out of it. Dang. That sucks. That being said, I still think too much weight is a problem. It's meant to be a tree chopper? Yeah. But it still uses a lot of stamina. I guess it would have been useful when you had like really low skill. Let's see here. Butchered meat numbers value will be reduced with time passed since the animal's death. Start lowering at 12 hours. Rip. Oh no. Does that mean CDDA is actually hard again because there's not just free meat next to the farmhouse? This meat can be rotten if the animal stayed dead for too long before butchering. Update status of food for animal dead bodies. It'll say stale and rotten if needed. Added animal bodies rotten version takes 50 hours by default. The time until maximum trash and looted buildings has been changed from 56 days to 90 days. The maximum rat index sandbox value has been changed from a default value of 100 to 50. It's also hard capped to 50. Wait, does that not get reduced by freezers? I would assume you have to butcher the animal into meat and then put the meat in the freezer. No more rat parties? I mean, 50 rats is still really bad for your frame rate. They set an amount and then lowered the max to it. Weapons that do not generate maintenance XP now have a tooltip warning the players as such. Remove the ability to remove buckets from forges. Removed XP from researching items. Lol. No more free levels, guys. They watched my last video. I would point out in my last video, I said that removing XP from researching was a bad idea because the real problem is the skill books. Reverted calls for adjust max time and timed actions added in commit, blah, 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 as it led to multipliers being applied twice. Adjusted values in, oh no, unhappiness and drunkenness have stronger effect. How long is it going to take for me to get a weapon off my back if I'm fully angry? God mode's not on. Body. Where is it? Unhappy. Maxed out. Hopeless. Oh, that wasn't that bad, honestly. All right. Can I check the sledgehammer spawn update? I don't know what that means yet. I haven't kept up with the new CDDA meta. Did people figure out the meta already? Yeah, you just immediately exit your house, walk northeast to the fence, draw a zombie up there, kill it with a stone that always spawns on the ground next to that area. Take its shoes, rip its clothes for a bandage, put the bandage on your leg. Then you can walk up to the farmhouse up north. If you stay near the corner of the fence, you can just kill every zombie that walks down to you. And then you're at the farmhouse and there's dead animals next to it that you can chop up for meat and easily lose your cold. Let's see here. Boosted the XP in general for constructing tiles. That's interesting. Wasn't it 10 XP for making a wall frame? I have the XP monitor thing. Maybe I could just craft one real fast. Wait, you have to go in like building frame. Build. Will I get XP for this if I do it in God mode like this? Apparently not. Okay. So I have to give myself carpentry and all the items. I'll check that some other time. Build 42 CDDA is a bit more difficult. Honestly, it's easier in my opinion. The stomping doesn't reduce your arm swing damage. Nor does stomping lose damage itself from muscle strain, so you just stomp the zombies on the fence. But now there's free food at the farm every time. Unless the food's rotten now, in which case it won't be free anymore. This should now be minimum 10 XP per level of skill requirement. 1 to 6 XP for 0 skill tiles. So you should get 20 XP for building a wall frame, which could be any interesting amount. This is because previously with tile dismantling enabled, XP-wise, it was far more productive to destroy tiles than to make them. By a high degree, the XP rewards for building stuff were remarkably low compared to dismantling mechanics. Fun fact, basically every new skill they've added or redone, like fishing, you get way more XP for doing it. So now they're just doing the same thing to like carpentry, right? And whatever metal, whoever would weld metal stuff together, I guess. Sledgehammers can spawn as surface clutter in farm storage and garage room definitions. Oh, that's what you're asking about me checking that. If you didn't notice, if you go in like a farm building, there's items just like laying on top of the stuff. Let's see here. There's one right outside of Riverside. Map. Ah, nothing spawned in here, but there'd be like an item sitting on top of the table. I failed to pause. Did they fix the HP of items? No idea. You found a few 6-packs in these? Oh yeah, I keep finding 6-packs everywhere now. Restore skull tags and inventory pane for hazardous fluids placed in the world. Packing eggs in a carton sets the carton's freeze time to the average freeze time of 12 eggs. Restore reserve water to plumbed items when the mains is off. Confused about that. Fix the discovered recipes and media button, possibly extending past the edge of the panel. Updated some buildings on the in-game map. Was there any buildings that were missing from the map? Are these colorful yet? No, those aren't colorful yet. And those aren't either. Zombie, get out of here. Raise unhappiness and drunken effects so actions take 2 times longer to finish when you're at the max Moodle level in one of them. That honestly didn't feel like it got worse. Mild reduction in the chance amount of armor and weapons that spawn on survivalist outfit zombies. No! So basically a survivalist zombie could basically spawn fully armored. And then you just run it over with your car and now you have full set of armor. It only says mild reduction though. Maybe it's not that bad. Nerf to the amount of and kind of loot in late game bandit outfit zombie backpacks. RIP. Mild nerf to amount of loot in late game survivalist outfits zombie backpacks. RIP. Both bandits and survivalist outfit zombies will have good stuff. They were just nudged to have slightly less good stuff. Some appropriate vehicle types have the possibility of spawning a sledgehammer as part of their trunk loot. Extended plumbing to find water sources within range of all sprites of a multi-spray object. Example, the bathtub, I would assume. Slightly reduce old and cheap generator sound radius and volume. They're still louder than the good ones. Pro tip, the old generator is actually really good at keeping zombies away from your base. Armor doesn't protect from cars. Well, basically, if they have actual armor on, they probably have max damage reduction. And you don't want to have to hit them like 18 times to kill them. So you just run them over with your car. Let's go find a loot pinata real fast and see if it's actually still a loot pinata. There's actually a possibility of it being on this road. So I'll start up here. Start closing some of these panels. I might be going too fast for it to spawn zombies. No, it did. Is that a loot pinata? Loot pinata. Oops, I missed. What weapon was I just using? This thing sucks. He has nothing in his bag. Just an ice hockey stick. Let's go find another loot pinata. Because that was really disappointing. Alright, sometimes around that corner there. By the way, I'm checking the spots where these cars spawn to find them. So if you see me go off on a side road and then immediately turn around, it's because I know they can spawn there and I just didn't see them. Same thing, I've seen them spawn right here on the corner. Alright, I've seen them spawn in this parking lot area, but they're not there. They're definitely not going to be on this main road. So, oops, I ungod moded. I need to go somewhere else. Yeah, sometimes they spawn on this road. Meta weapon, by the way. I mean, they nerfed it, so I'll boot up and build 42.2. Or, no, I have 43.1 or whatever. Here's another. Wait, is this a loot pinata or is this just the normal spawns? Because there is a backpack. Oh, he has a weapon. He might be real. I mean, how full is his backpack? I mean, it's still a pinata, right? It's just not amazing. See if I can find one more. By the way, guys, this is how you get bags. Little mystery van. Hey, is there any mention of making the vans not terrible? No, there's a vehicle spawn like right here somewhere. Didn't see it. All right. Annotated map could have been a good thing if it wasn't an LV. It was an LV map, I checked. And mouse over them and read the name. And I feel like I got bad luck for the backpack events. There's normally more of them. What if high tailoring let you make your own big backpack? They said sledgehammers and some trunk loot, maybe vans. Maybe. I was talking about vans, their horsepower or whatever. Like, I don't know. They're just really bad at driving. Go back to the main road. I got stuck there even though I had fast move on. Here we go. It's another normal tiny bag. The 6-seater vans are basically impossible to use. Feels bad. Yep. It's still plenty of books, honestly. It's still worth like. There's no reason not to just drive around opening those up. Little loot pinatas. Maybe the falls, guys. You get more pinatas by taking lucky trait, I guess. Maybe. Hi, Rick. What's up? So they took the Reddit post about where the loot went and did the opposite and made it worse. I don't know. I guess maybe he had armor as well. Yeah, they usually have armor and a weapon. Although I don't count the magazine armor as armor because that's just weird. Let's see here. There was a nerf on the backpacks. Some appropriate vehicle types have the sledgehammer, slightly reduced old and cheap generators. Okay, I read that. So we just have fixes now. How many fixes is this? It's a lot. Oh, actually, it's not that many fixes. It's all forging stuff. Lantern recipe error, missing vehicle mechanics overlay for several vehicles, chin and thigh armor recipes, outputting thigh and chin armor. That's hilarious. Interrupting of pour drink, leaving a fully filled or empty bottle. Wait a minute. Can you drink half a bottle now by canceling? Let's see here. Make myself thirsty. Start drinking. Cancel it. You can. It's back, guys. It's back. It's amazing. Also, it barely touched my thirst, but we can ignore that bit. All right, being able to drink half a bottle the easy way, I love it. Instead of having to like pour it out into like another container. Maybe partial eating is back to it. Maybe it is. Fixed chop tree. Farming and paint cursors remaining open if the character enters a vehicle. No, they did not. Is eat canceling back? I don't know. I think they just nerfed tree radar. No, my tree radar. Oh, that sucks. Get Turnist. Turnist? Something like that? Yeah. Did I try the advanced placement UI? Oh no, it's amazing. It's actually amazing. Here you go, Rick. You'll love this too. Oh. Thumbnails just got so much better. You guys have no idea. You would still crash into trees even with the radar? That's not a debug thing? Nope. It keeps it within the tile boundary. I was using telekinesis to move the hat? Yeah. Epic win for the Sims players out there. I mean, I'm going to be able to like place weapons in interesting swinging poses in my hands now with that for like a thumbnail. That'll be fun. Fix dismantle medium implement recipe. Could only use a standard hammer as a tool. Fix issue where fluid transfers sometimes transform all fluids into water. No. No more infinite water, guys. They're going to get rid of the tree radar. I mean, you can still do it on foot. Just not when you're in a car. This mantle medium implement recipe was perfectly capable of using other tools. I don't know. Maybe that's a patch note from like the last patch or something that made it through into this one. I've noticed a couple things like that happening. Like the issue where fluid transfers stop partway through would leave a transfer at either 0 or 100%. So that's also you can do halfway. So you can just slam 100% on everything and then hit escape to get the amount you want. Fix issues when medical satchel was shown in right hand. Fix errors with some weapons breaking. Fix being able to chop down infinite trees with stone axes. Whoops. Fix character health UI for simplifies Chinese. Fix crucibles. Glaze unglazed ceramic jars not being fluid containers and not being filled by rain. Firewood and nail weapons using wrong sounds. Error with reclaiming rope from firewood bundles. Fix old clothes unlock list not fitting its UI. Fix size of bottom right buttons and match the new report bug button. They're not there right now. Fix issue with spawn select advanced panel to fit with existing UI layout design. Split screen players seeing containers highlights for other players. That was kind of cool though. Time to stockpile stone axes. Yup. Not sure how they think they fix it, but the ISO tree still does the same wrong sharpness check. Hold up. All this floor. Turn off God mode just in case that matters. Oh, that's weird. I can't walk while I'm fast forwarding to cancel it. It broke. Something about carpentry seats. Fixed thirst reaching negative values. Hey, people are actually going to be fixed now. Fixed players not being able to slice fish that can't fit in their inventories. Fixed keys with ID number -1 being spawned. Fixed amount of items we can gain through foraging showing wrong number. Fixed crops showing remove as the first option when checking their status, as info should be at the top. Fixed orange LED light being missing from light switches when the house is powered by a generator. They need to be shown on the backside of the light switch. Fix error when weapons break or get stuck in Zeds during combat. Fix texture compression issues on floor overlays. Fix petting animal sounds being silent. Fix being unable to smelt broken items. That's a huge change, isn't that? They didn't give the stone axes a sharpness, did they? Oh, I didn't look at that, actually. Stone axe. No, it doesn't have a sharpness. You can aim with speeded up time again? Interesting. Am I the only one that has a bug that you can't use tabs and have no option to fill bottles and stuff? I mean, it's not a bug. The water cuts out after a certain point. Unless you're talking about like it's always like that, in which case that sucks. Fix some blacksmith recipes producing items that were sharp for consistency. They should all produce blunt items that require sharpening. I hate that so much, even though it's the correct way to deal with it. Fix an error that can happen with on-break functions when a head part is processed and the item in question is a world item. Let's see here. Anything interesting going on here? Fix an error when the character would attempt to research an item, a recipe for an item outside of their inventory. Fix an error where the item recipe debug search strings to communicate. Okay, never mind. That is too much words. Fix the player being able to turn while transferring items between containers while sitting. Fix issue with the voice style data not saving presets. I was wondering about that. Fix zombies lunging forever at players across the sides of staircases. Terrifying. Fix the most recent issue with tints, tile definitions, and movables. Old tints weren't working movables wise. Yeah, that bit sucked. Fix the carved spear craft recipe, having 2 on create definitions in the script. To be fair, I just died and then I could move tints again. I need to see that lunging. I don't think I have a clip of it, so I'd have to go up in an old version to get it to happen again. It's not water cutting out, it's just not having an option to fill. Are you playing on the current version of the game? Or are you talking about something happening before? Because I mean, I haven't played yet, so I can't tell you if it works or not. Fix the voice pitch slider being non-functional. Fix zombie thumps on barbed wire fences playing wrong sound. Fix eggs never unfreezing when frozen. Fix a typo in a postcard name. Fix cars facing the wrong direction at the drive-in theater. But it needs better parameters So it isn't enforced for other areas of Rosewood. What? No, it's the latest update that came out today. Yeah, then maybe that's a new bug. Fix butchering animals from ground not producing blood on your character. You should just thaw out frozen food using an oven. Oh, the eggs wouldn't ever thaw out. They were like actually permanently frozen. Unless you put them in an egg carton. All cars in Rosewood point to the theater, probably. That's what I'm expecting. Except I think it's like if the theater is loaded in your map, then the cars that spawn as you're moving around should all face it. If I'm thinking about this correctly. Fix coughing, making animals stressed and running. That's interesting. Fixing an error with the logic of the craft recipe system. Whatever. Let's see here. Fix the heresy of not being able to pet raccoons. Can you make them your friends? Oh, let's see here. Fixed crawler zombies are missing some conditions to be set during the game. I don't know what that means, but hopefully it fixed something. Fix crude and log fences having block all of the square. Oh, I wonder if those are easier to walk by now. With over 1,200 hours, I still haven't pet a chicken. And I tried chopping a tree with a metal axe. I think the code has changed to do straight damage and not sharpness reduction. I think I had a firefighter axe on the ground. Did it turn into a stick? What happened there? Oh, I'm a lumberjack. This is going to be awkward. It took... Oh, no. Hold up. It took handle condition and sharpness. I guess that's not the worst thing ever. I feel like the head condition should have been perfect, though. I don't remember hitting a zombie with it. Might be worth investigating more. Fixed poisonous berries and mushrooms, missing the poisonous tag and foraging sometimes. Yeah, that was slightly annoying. Fixed deer not having a trailer size. Only debug. Fix some instances of Zed sometimes getting stuck in bite animation when shot from a distance. Fix the small and large crucible models being the same size. Fix some missing crafting for raccoon leather. Fix being unable to right click on squares adjacent to water. Fix the wrong short blade recipe and some weapon schematics. Is there any mention of the weapon schematics losing their recipes after like a reload at some point? Like, does that still happen? Did it get fixed at some point? We now make a spiffle religion? Oh no. Creating a new world and not having the option to fill from sinks and taps. All right, you got me. Where's the water bottle? Nope, I went too far. Only the light switch was visible. Oh, I successfully filled from a bottle. Yep. How many hits does this take? Too many hits. Me and the zombie are working together. This event? Yeah, I know. Am I like not doing damage to this? Why is the bug only for you? Do you have any mods turned on? That might be the problem. Oh, this is absurd. This plank is from Krypton? Do I do damage at all? Hold up. That zombie just got pushed in the wall and deleted itself. I don't even know what happened there. Oh, I give up. Planks are infinite. I don't even know what's happening there. Zombies are like, let me help with that. That's a titanium plank. I don't even know what's going on. Fix stutters when right-clicking hundreds of objects on the ground. Still happens, but much improved. Fix severe freezing when right-clicking inventory with hundreds of nails in inventory or near the world. Or nearby in the world. Alright. Foraging. Added new zones for improved player experience, plus general foraging fixes, plus new foraging definitions. It should no longer flicker during zone transitions. That's pretty good. Hey, Noodles, thanks for the gifted sub to Flux. That was 52 hits, if I'm counting right. Something was going horribly wrong. Fixed clouds and stars not showing in the display. Interesting. Hey, the fog now has a subtle rolling effect in the display. That's kind of cool. I mean, you can clearly see it yourself, but clouds are back. Nice. Yeah. Although now I won't be able to see the moon. I like the sun. Retinaris ago. Also, do you know spicier noodles is ago? Yep. Did they fix the skinned rat problem yet? Butchering dead rats you find in the world makes rodent meat, but any rat you catch yourself is technically not named dead rat, so you can't get rodent meat from them. I don't skin rats. Y'all are too much of roaching for me. Foraging got changed a lot. I mean, it's a long list. And then there's some technical stuff at the bottom. Added support for new forage zones and handling of overlapping zones. We already saw that at the beginning of the stream. Added support for mixed forage zone handling. Loot tables can be generated for mixed zones by specifying the zones they contain. It also supports handling for doubled up zones such as farm and farmland, nav and foraging nav, which have identical tables. Adjusted biome map config to generate new forage zones. Added forage zone definitions for all biomes. Added support for new biomes. Added support for chance ratios for mixed zones. And Noodles subbed IG as well. IG just came out of nowhere. Thank you, Noodles. The more plants sprouting out of the roads? Maybe? We'll have to see. How long will it take for build 42 to become stable? I don't know. When does Half-Life 3 come out? Where was I? Removed ammo spawns from vegetation loot table to avoid issues with mixed zones. That's sad. Added a lot of debug logging, the forge tables, fixed multiples of categories, added very high chance for mushrooms and firewood to be found in organic birch to differentiate them from regular forest a tad. Added a chance to find stones where it seemed appropriate in new zones based on existing entries. Added the final pieces for mixed categories and inserting items into the foraging loot tables. Existing table generation can now handle mixes without needing any changes. These are done in advance. Do not blame IG. Blame IG. Always blame IG. Look at how long these bug fix balancing notes are. Stable is not close. Planks are broken now. You can't destroy them. Just checked. How does that even happen? That's hilarious. Okay, all this foraging. I'm trying to just find anything actually super useful in this. But I think this is mostly just being explained for modders. Added a crafting materials category for foraging. Added existing bottleneck items to this category. These are still in the junk items table as well as items can have multiple categories. And it's not focusable. The crafting mats category. Determined searchers should be able to find any of these in urban areas eventually. Less likely outside of towns, but still possible. Added multiple category definitions of junk and trash tables. Should I diversify their loot a little more? Increased chance of finding trash in several biomes. Remove some debug info. This is no longer functional with stack zones. Added sprite affinities for boulders and stone-like deposits. Add a small chance of finding a rock category item nearby. Added slightly higher chance to forge clay during and after rain. Added a very slightly higher chance to find flint for a while after it has rained. Added a tiny chance to find trash in organic forest. Removed farm chances from all categories and items as these are now handled by contains biome. Something about the farmland zone. The F2 pickers can still reveal stacked identical zones in debug mode. There's so much stuff. Remove some unused and localized variables in Forge system. Added a basic FAQ for the Forge system modder reference on how to add items and best practices. Okay, so they really did do that. Added many new items to foraging tables, this time focusing on missing plants, herbs, insects, and most seed-bearing plants. Reorganize some forage table items into appropriate categories. Reduce the amount of seeds given by wild crops and seed-bearing plants by 50% on average. That seems a little rough. New bug, you can't refill your canteen with sink water. I was able to refill a plastic bottle. Maybe everyone just has to use a plastic bottle now. If they keep doing this all year, I'm really excited for how much they're putting in. Added bones foraging category for crafting materials is fairly common outside of towns. That's crazy. I like it. Added artifacts category. Wait, this is actually really good because it means you can find a bone to craft a needle without having to actually catch an animal. This one is rare, only found outside of towns for the artifacts. Technical. Limited the maximum size of the console.txt and the other ones to 5 megabytes. This limit can be changed. When the size limit is reached, the log file is cleared and writing starts at the beginning. All right. The ballistics controller get camera target now uses the same bullet Z to PZ world scale as a forthcoming feature. Oh no, a bunch of ballistics stuff changed. Added more uses of box static values where it makes sense. Ballistics thing, another ballistic thing. More vector stuff with the bullets. Enabled camera targeting for weapons with is range fall off enabled, aka shotguns. So far, shooting feels better. I think RJ fixed the math. I think the shotgun might actually function correctly instead of just based off of where the barrel's pointing. That could be interesting. Maybe I'll do another guns only run. Updated the license and readme to rename a library and removed an unused license. Let's see here. Added durability component type. The combat manager shoot placed items to replace string name checks with durability component checks. So you can shoot the bottle beer, beer imported, can beer, beer empty, and beer can empty off of things. I was trying to test the inventive trait and found I just auto learn everything on leveling up 0 to 1 in a skill with or without this trait. That's absolutely hilarious. The shotgun was pretty good at aim 4. It's not that the shotgun isn't good, it's the way you aim it in game was weird. It didn't match the other guns. Remove some figgle what from the code. Okay. Absolutely okay. I'm getting a little silly in the patch notes. Yeah. So shotguns can target crawlers now? I did not say that. Someone else will have to prove it. It seems all the Moodle stuff was changed. So if you have any mods that mess with Moodles, you might want to just turn them off for now. Let's see here. Added physics hit reaction script to handle physics-based hit reactions data. They also did it for real-time adjustments. I wonder if they're going to make it so you can shoot a zombie in the leg and it falls down. Refactored ISO barricade and ISO window and its dependent classes. Simplified the logic and improved readability, defined proper access control, replaced hard-coded values with named constants, removed redundant casts, also made planks invulnerable. I added the last part part on there, by the way, if you're not watching. That's why it's broken. Yep, that would be why it's broken. They touched it, and it touched back. Implemented hand weapon can attack pierce transparent wall, allowing firearms, spears, knives to attack through transparent walls, aka fences. Could you not attack through the walls before? I never bothered trying. Like the fences. To buff the crowbars. Is hell freezing over? They refactored some code. There was a couple refactors, wasn't there? Yeah, there's a Moodle one too. That means Moodles are going to act really weird as well, guys. Oh my gosh. What if we can take claustrophobic and zooming out doesn't make you get panicked outside? Remember, guys, changing your frame rate ruins everything. And that's everything, basically. All right. So I need to shoot a zombie with a shotgun. There was something else way earlier I was going to test. I have to butcher a cow. All right. Player stats. Butchering. Max level. I need a fillet knife or some sort of knife. And an animal, which... That's West Point. Should be a cow over here. Hello, cows. I got bad news for you. Oh my god, you're alive. Come back. I'm gonna cut you off. I swung too early. It dodged. All right, fine. It earned its life. Might as well test a shotgun with the cow. Give yourself forging 10, see what's up. Eh. There it is. I'm like, why can I no pick up? Do I still have to right click this first? That's really weird. Alright, I have tin butchering. Are we gonna gather a amount of meat that is remotely satisfying? First of all, why did I get poor cuts? Second of all, I got a useless amount of meat. So according to the bug report I saw, if I just do a cow... Where do you run off to? Fine, there's another Holstein up here. On the ground, I should get more meat. Oh, that's nasty. I mean... Maybe I'm crazy, but it just doesn't seem like this is right. Like, at all. Like, it actually looks worse. I don't know. Did it land on the floor or something and I didn't notice? One steak from a whole cow? I just don't know. Yeah, I got a steak and 2 pieces of meat from a cow. Like, I like the OSRS mod icons. What mod do I use? It's like Spike's. Wait, I can just do this. Spike's Rune XP rework. You should be feasting for like a month. We've talked about the whole cows and how much calories they should give you and stuff. Like, you should get so much meat you actually struggle to keep it fresh and stuff like that. But it just doesn't exist. I don't know. Let's do a cheat and give myself unlimited ammo. Already have it. JS 2000. All right, can I... Oh, it's working. All right, so you just have to mouse over your zombie now and you can just blast it with your shotty. Can I blast him on the ground? Oh, you can. Hey guys, a shotgun is a shotgun again. I mean, it's not doing damage because of the chance to damage or whatever, but at least it actually hits. Can I see if I can shoot zombies on the floor above the 3rd floor? LV then, right? My shotgun! Give it back. This building only like 2 floors high? Oh. Well, that explains a lot. Where's the skyscraper? I don't even know. Does the shotgun give more XP again? Didn't even look. Right where my mouse was, that meant nothing. Literally nothing to me. Here, if I teleport here, I should be able to see if it's tall. Alright, this has more than 3 floors. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, there was something wrong about aiming at him. Hold up. Yo, not getting flashbanged over there is so nice. Their hitbox is correct. Check if I can shoot them on the ground, because that's the bug. Get down. I'm gonna say no. Stay. Aw, damn it. Since when does that not automatically knock the zombie down? Did I accidentally kill a different zombie? That's pretty hilarious. Yeah, so I mean, you can literally... You can see the hitbox is on the ground, and as he stands up, it gets high enough up that I can shoot it. I mean, I'm holding alt to aim at the zombie on the ground. It's just not doing it. I'll do it in M9. I'm pushing with the gun. It's not melee. Yeah. You shot it down one at a similar distance. Are you on the 5th floor of a building? Because that's the bug we're referring to right now. Yeah, you have to be on the 5th floor for it to bug out. Oh, hold up. All right, yeah, that knocked it down. All right. You can shoot them if you shoot while reloading. Well, there's like the bullet is actually tracked. So if you manage to get your gun to point down and you shoot while it's pointing down, it should actually hit the zombie if you line it up correctly. You're just going to delete your save. Is it that corrupted, basically? All right, so I tried butchering. It was terrible. I shot the shotgun and it actually hits zombies on the ground now, and it actually kind of felt good. I think that was it. I need to play with controller again, apparently. And put my animals next to a river so I don't have to water them. Hey, is there any farms that are like naturally right next to the river? I don't think so, right? Maybe some of these. No, they're not right. Oh, I zoomed out too far. Near Brandenburg? Is that a farm? Could be interesting. Well, the good news is you'll be able to use the pond. So if you're in oh, it's nighttime. Am I stuck? Oh, I'm on the 5th floor. So some chickens spawn right here. And all you have to do is move them over here and then they have infinite water. Are lakes and rivers coded the same? They're mentioned the same in the... Why are those trees highlighted? Oh, it's because there's a car there. Oh, hey guys. Do you ever wonder how far the physics are around the car? There you go. That's the distance. Just place 2 buckets for infinite water. Simple. It's Minecraft logic. Oh, Echo Creek. You're right. Echo Creek automatically wins this because there's a river going through the center. I'm not sure if any farms... Maybe that one? You could edit very easily? Without having to move the animals? Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, all you have to do is extend this. Oh, there's a fence in the way. Not that big of a deal, though. That seems unnecessary big for a car model. Well, the physics doesn't even exist outside of that range, as far as I understand. The ultimate farmstead. Yeah, instead of trying to find an infinite source of water, now you just want to put your animals next to water so you don't have to water them anymore. Hey, isn't this one? This is it right here. Yep. This is the one. Yo, the fire's on. How much burn time does it have? Okay, so I had 4 hours in it. Was that well there before? I'm just blind and didn't notice it. It also happens in the ruined church, by the way, and immediately burns the building down. Trough doesn't work. So the trough has to fill up with water, and every once in a while, the animals just die for no apparent reason of thirst. So maybe if you can get your animals to drink from the water, it won't happen anymore. I don't know. You also won't have to build a trough, which is kind of nice. I need to turn off. There we go. Talk about this church, right? Oh, not this church. Maybe some other church? I can't remember. Oh, wait. Is it... Where is the church? There's a fire in this? It's already burnt down. South of Echo Creek on the river. Huh? There's only this stuff. All right. We're ignoring flux. How much water can troughs hold? Are they perhaps better than rain collector crates? I think the big ones hold more than a rain collector, but I don't think you can directly use the water in them. It's a double building in the south of Echo Creek. This thing? I mean, it doesn't appear to have a fire in it. Gas station in the southern area? I'm done. We'll figure it out at some other time. Posture check. I am sitting straight up. This is such a sick base location. Oh, that. This spot? Wait, no, that wasn't it. This spot. Right outside of actual Ekron. There's also this, though, which is pretty sick, too, by the way. Like, this is visually appealing to me. The problem is I think the factory has, like, holes in the floor, so it's very dangerous. Got another hydrate and a stretch? Okay, I have to stand up and get water because I ran out. Darn it. You think the one with the floor holes is near Ekron? Am I not near Ekron? Oh, that one. Okay. There's a hidden morgue in Brandenburg. That's cool. Oh, I tried to do the Oblivion drink sound, but I was muted. I'm sad. Does the factory have some machinery we can use? I don't think we can use any of that crafting table stuff yet. Where are the patch notes? There you go. But I finished the patch notes, right? Let me check this again. I'll refresh and see if anything else popped up. Nope. All right. I didn't read every single line because a lot of it is just fixes and things that are just gobbledygook to most of us anyway. 13, 13, 88, 12. Check the chords. Can I see coordinates on the map when I'm mousing around? No. That would be very hard for me to do, so I won't do that. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't have the Build 42 map open right now. There's a setting for that. Maybe debug info? Oh, I found it. Too bad it's basically hidden to me. What was it? There it is. Are you telling me to go to this water? Is that turkeys? They're so fast. What do we got in here? Pigs. We just escaped. There's a little pool right there. I wonder if that counts as water for the animals. Yo, this house is sick. All smashed up. And they got the zoomies. You DM me the location, but it doesn't matter. Hold up, I'm going to check it out then. Oh, I actually know what you're talking about down here. It's this one, right? Is it going to burn down, though? It burned out before it burnt down. Did they fix it? It might have just been unlucky that I was fast forwarding too. These streams remind you of watching Purge stream the Dota patch notes back when you played Dota. Such cozy vibes. Is it a general fix for wood floors or is it for this fire? I mean, I think that requires more testing. That campfire has 15 space. How much space do these have now? 10 space. I thought they upped the amount of space the campfires had. Maybe it's just the ones the character builds. I want to get the pot off of that. Like, can I have that? I want it. Give it to me. It burns nicely for you? I think it's because I fast forward while the fire was going so it didn't burn down, right? Does the pot work? I don't know. Weird. But I am going to be out of here. So those of you on YouTube, I'm going to leave you guys first. And then I'm probably going to peace out on Twitch in a couple minutes anyway.